Hey everybody, Friender79, and we're back for tutorial number 3. This will be number 3 in the series of DCS World Mission Editing, and we'll be placing units and looking at the trigger list inside Mission Editor. So let's get started. Mission Editor, and let's go ahead and open. You can do that from this file or this taskbar over here. We're going to go to Operation Take Back version 3. And see how I should have kept our map options. We had the grid lines off, and should have our force rules. Still good. Okay, so all we did last time is just went over the interface, and from our scenario, we're going to be liberating Katasi. Okay, so we want to find somewhere, a friendly airfield that's not too far, or if you want to have a farm mission, but we want to keep this mission under 2 hours. We can launch from our 2 A10s. So I didn't show this in the last tutorial, I apologize, but this is map options again. This user ruler down here, you click on that, left click again, and hold it, and you can move. We can see how far different places are from different places. So if you can see, let me zoom in a little bit. There you go. Batasi is 97 kilometers at 44 degrees from Batasi, or from Batumi, sorry. So that's a good little tool. And to get rid of that, you just click on it again. So let's go ahead and launch our friendly airfield. It's going to be Batumi. So first off, there's a couple of things you can do. DCS has changed over the patches. You used to have a unit at an airfield to make it a color, and I still do that. What I mean is, if I click anywhere, left click inside this airfield, this interface pops up. Coalition is neutral, blue or red. This is going to be red. We already decided that. Suppliers we're not going to really go over. What that basically means is you can have different airfields switch supplies. Like I can limit the amount of munitions that are available for one side using this, and they're actually you can make it so where they will send supplies through script through different airfields. So like one mission we had to wait about 10 minutes before we got replenished with Mark 82s, for example. We're not going to go over that right now, but we're going to make it red on the map, at least for now. I'm still going to add units here. When you have a unit in the vicinity, the airfield, in the F11 view, and when you're playing the game, it'll show in the corner. If it's neutral, it's gray. If it's red, it's red. If it's blue, it's blue. Coalition. I still put units in the airfield just to keep, if you launch from the airfield, you're in a plane, the airfield becomes it should turn neutral, which you don't want if you're going to be staged there. So Batasi is red. Let's make Batumi blue. Let's click on it. Blue. That's simple. And also, let me go over real quick under mission options, fog of war. Basically, if you put fog of war on a certain diameter around your aircraft, you should be able to see objects if they're outside of your fog of war, your perimeter or parameters that you can't see. That's hit or miss. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So I'm not going to use that. We're just going to keep it allies only. So we have our 2 staging areas. This is going to be our home base, or base operations. This is going to be our enemy area. So before we get too crazy, let's go ahead and set up our two AA or A10 units. Sorry. So we're going to go to add or modify aircraft plane group, and it's going to be A10 Charlie. Click that, and if it's highlighted yellow, that means you have it installed, and it's what I have installed right now. I have Flaming Cliffs, and I have some other things, but I don't have them installed. So for space, but A10 Charlie, and right now it says it's on the US side, which is important. Condition, we're going to leave it 100%. And name, let's go ahead and name this Hog. Hog. It's going to display this in the multiplayer menu. So we'll put Hog 1. And then under pilot, Hog 1 flight lead. Alright. It's not hidden on map. And it's going to We got that done. And right now it's on average, good, high, excellent, and random are all AI driven. So if I kept it on that, I could not fly it. Client is multiplayer. So it'd be slot 1 or what have you. So we're going to go ahead and just put it down as a client for a second. Just going to put it down right here. And we're not, if you look at this interface now, it's at turning points in the air. It's at 2,000 meters at 500 kilometers an hour. So we want to actually launch from here, right? So we have a lot of spots to launch from. So what we're going to do, and when that activated, you also notice how the call sign came up. We're going to go ahead and just put it in hog 1-1 com. Basically, it's just telling you want to click this off if you use an AI aircraft, because if you don't want to hear them talking, okay. If you want to hear them talking, like their flight paths, that kind of thing, this is their UHF freak. I know it says AM, but this is actually UHF. So right now I'm going to go ahead and click this off. So I don't have any AI flight members for this group. Okay, this is a group right here. So turn it off. And we want to actually start somewhere down here. So let's go ahead and go to this menu here. And we're going to take off from ramp. Now runway, it'll actually have you hot, ready to go on the edge of the runway, all spooled up, ready to go. We want to just do a cold start, so I'm going to take off from ramp, and it's going to move. See how it moved us? Look over here, it shows what parking spot. There's 10 parking spots here. Let's go to 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's go ahead and go to 1. Okay, just make it easy. So our start time, and right now we'll be at 88 meters. That's probably how that's altitude. It shouldn't really matter. So because we're taking off, so we're going to start cold right here. Next thing we're going to do is look at our aircraft. So we're going to have payload. You can make custom payloads, and I noticed last patch I had some custom payloads and they didn't load correctly. Some of the rockets were missing, and that could have been because I was using the supplier option under bases. But let's just go ahead and do a default load here. And I click on that, and you notice how if I click on this one, my weight's over. So this one, I'm at 97% of my max weight. Here's your here's what you're at right now. Here's your max gross weight. I have 100% fuel. You're really heavy right here, really heavy. So I could probably drop this a little bit. Let's go about 85% fuel. So we're not too heavy. You can also change your chaff flare, your guns if you want high explosive, combat mix, target practice. We're going to keep on combat mix. And you also change your paint scheme. Let's go 25th Fighter Squadron. I was at Osan, so I like that. All right, so the rest of these options I don't really use. This is where we're going to kind of stay at here. So since we're not going to have an AI flight, if I did an AI flight, say I want to have an AI wingman, I can just go here and click on this unit. And it's going to make another unit right here. I don't want that. I want to have it two AI or two actual U.S. or user personnel using the aircraft, 2 clients. So let's go ahead and get rid of that. All right, one thing I want to tell you is if you're going to be testing the mission, you want to test it, keep it off client unless you're going to be on multiplayer and testing it. Put it back on player until you're ready to produce a mission for multiplayer, because if you put it on client, sometimes when you go into the mission start, it won't let you go into the flight. It may not, but just for testing, we're going to put it on player. Okay, so hog 1. So what I can do now, I could copy and paste this and make another one, or I can just start from scratch. I'm going to start from scratch because when you copy and paste, I say what I'm talking about is I right click on it, Control C, then Control V. All right, now you see how it just copied everything. 001, 001. However, the port number is the same. This is very important. I know this can hose up some scripts sometimes, or some Lua. You do not want the port number for any aircraft to be the same. So we're going to go ahead and delete this one. All right, now let me show you what I'm talking about. Let's go back to our plane interface. Let's go to client just to make it good. This is going to be hog 2. It's its own group now because we're making this making this a client, so it's gonna be its own group. Hog 2. I know it says board 10 right now, but it should change. All right, I placed it. Went to board 11. Like I said, we don't want the comm on, and now I can make this a player if I want. I'm gonna keep it client. Same thing goes. We're gonna go through here. Take off from ramp. Yes. Let's make him right next to his buddy. Hog 1. All right, close, good to go. Same loadout. Let's go 85% for, is 85? 85% fuel. Let's go 25th. Okay, and we're good. Let's change it to hog. And this one we can do hog 2-1. So if I zoom in, right click, got my parameters. Okay, so those are 2 aircraft. Copying is good if you do. Right now I could put a waypoint and copy that aircraft, and it copies the waypoint as well. That's fine, but like I said, the board number is a big deal. Okay, just remember that. So right now they're different board numbers. All right, so we got hog 1 and hog 2. Now if I go to my units list, it'll show you can filter between blue and red. Just go blue. Just go. This is all the units right now into blue. So we have hog 1 and hog 2. So that's how that unit list works. And they have made a cool interface now where it shows the planes, the number. That wasn't like that before. That's a pretty neat feature. All right, so we have our 2 planes set up. Goody. One of them is a player. See how it changed? It's hog 1, player, and hog 2 is a client. When I go to multiplayer, when I'm finished, I'm gonna put them both on client, and we'll be set. But for now, we're just gonna test with player. 1 is hog 1. Okay, so that's the basic setup of the aircraft. Okay, that's pretty simple. It's not too bad. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna make waypoints towards our target area, which is Katasi. Now in our mission brief we said possible manpad units, AAA units, mixed armor. So we're gonna make this basic combat zone here. Okay, and first let's go ahead and set up hog 1 for its flight. So I'm gonna right click on hog 1, and right here I'm gonna push add. So I'm gonna add a waypoint. Okay, I left clicked it, and I'm gonna just move my mouse. Let's see here. Let's do flight plan to like right here. When I left click, it shows from here to here. Let's do a flyover point. So we're not gonna be turning really. Altitude I wanted to be at when I get to that waypoint would be, let's say, since we have man pads, 6,000 meters. That's about 12,000 feet, I believe. Let's check it real quick. Alrighty. Meters to feet. Alright, let's go here. Wow, I don't like that at all. Okay, let's just do 6,000 meters, see what it says. Whoa, way off. Hello. So I need to go back to math class. 19,000, so let's try 4,500. Okay, it's still kind of high. Let's go, I forgot, 1 meter is about 3 feet, so 0, 0, 0. Okay, so let's go 4,000. Alright, 4,000 meters. And let's do a conversion from knots, kilometers to knots. It said 500. That's 269 knots. It's not too bad, so keep it there. Okay, we're there. Speed lock. Okay, so it's just showing that our approximate ETA is going to be from waypoint 0 from landing, from taking off to the first waypoint is about 8 minutes. Okay, that's all it's showing. I'll go in this little checkbox here later, but we're good for now. I can name this waypoint. This will show up inside your TAD when you're looking in the cockpit. Let's do waypoint 1. Okay, so we're good there. So we got hog 1 to take off. We got a waypoint 1, flyover point, and route to Katasi. So let's do it for our next. Oh, see what happened there? I clicked it, and it just went right where I told it to go. So if that happens to you, waypoint 1, waypoint 2. Just go ahead and push delete. Right now I'm on waypoint 2. Delete. Now, John, make sure you right click on the next unit. And it turns yellow. Add. Like I said, you could copy and paste this, but this is kind of help you guys out. I'll put it right next to that one for now. I'll move it. This is a flyover point. Point 1. We said, what, 4,000? Alright, we're good there. And I'm going to move it ever so slightly. If you right click, not exactly on it, but enough to where it's pretty close flight plan. Okay, so both A10s are going to take off, head to waypoint 1. So, that's simple. Let's go ahead and set up some enemy units here. Now, one thing I like to do, if you set up a unit, when I was talking earlier about setting groups, I can keep pressing this 1 and make 4 aircraft. For ground units, you can make many as you want per group. So I'll go to the ground vehicle, and we're going to call this QTAS. Just put KUT enemy group 1. Okay, Russian, and we're going to make this armor. Okay, for now, let's just put, for example. Alright, so it's the Russian side. I'm going to put skill, random. Random, basically, you can go between any of these. Player can drive, turn it off. Okay, I don't need that on right now, but it'll probably be, yeah, it activates. We don't want that. Now, before I place this is your number 1 here, okay? You want to, what I like to do, I like to determine how many units I'm going to have per group and place it somewhere away from the water. I'll show you why. Let's do it somewhere. Alright, this is good. Because if you place it next to the water, for example, say I do right here, okay? And, okay, let's move it a little closer. And I want 20 units. 1, 2, 3, keep going. I get an error. You're trying to move, you can't do it. No, you can't. So basically that's telling you, if I move the first unit, number 1, unit number 1, this group, they all move. And see, it's not good. So like I said, what you want to do is go somewhere where there's not a lot of water. Like here, I'm gonna have 20 groups in this, or I'm gonna have, let's say 18 units in this group. Now I can highlight number 1, hold my right mouse button. I'm gonna click on it, my right mouse button, hold it, and I can move it. So then now, and when you place your first unit, you don't want to move that, because when you place the first unit, they all move. So make sure your unit 1 is where you really want it. I'm gonna put unit 1 right here, and I'm gonna go ahead and change. Let's put him as a T-72 Bravo, and that's his threat circle, which I'll show you how to look at that in a second. And I'm going to have him off-road. We're going to do custom. Okay, I'll show you for a second why. Speed 0. Okay, and this is where you can have him, where he's going to be facing. He's going to be facing a little bit west. Alright, so I have my first unit. Now, so I have it on custom. Move my next unit. Say I want him over here, facing this way. I'll make him a BMD1 random still. Make this guy BMP3 deadly. Have him facing the southwest, and so on. So let me place his units here. Put him kind of close to him. You can zoom in. When you start shooting these guys, they're going to start moving a little bit too, by the way. So just a heads up. Let's make him a, let's make this guy. And we said we wanted support here, right? Logistic support. So let's go ahead and make him, I can do this. I can just go to category. Let's go ahead and make him unarmed. Still a combatant. And I'll make him a, let's see here. Transport. Put him right here. Have him facing that way. So you can, so I changed that. It's still in the same group, which is, you know, you have, I can go back and look here. 1's a tank, 2's a BMD, 3's a BMP3, 4's a transport, 5 is still the default BTR-80. So let's go ahead and move him. He's still on random. We're still good. Let's do a T55. This is taking these units and moving them. So on random. BRDM. Let's make a couple over here, since actually I moved this one. Now if I move my number 1, if I go to number 1, or I can just do this or click on it. See how it goes where the actual unit is, it turns color. If I move unit 1 right now, they're all move. So like I said, you keep unit 1 where you want it, and you place everything else, because you're gonna mess up your whole template. Alright, so we're on this buddy over here, weren't we? Yeah. That was a BDRM. Let's put some support. Unarmed. Let's do fuel truck. Then number 10. And see, I made him a fuel truck automatically, because I still had it on the unarmed category. Let's make him a GAZ-66. And which way is he facing? Alright, it's fine. Alright, number 10. Have him looking this way. BTR-80 is fine for now. Okay, and I hope I'm not going too fast. I'm just moving these guys around. You also don't make too many enemy if you only have 2 A10s, you know, so some of these soft targets. So if one GBU or something hits something, it usually damages it, and you can do some guns or something. So we're trying to make this not too hard, but still a little bit challenging. This is only group 1, or enemy group 1, so. P, alright. This guy over here. Kind of guarding this road here. Alright, so we have all our, actually, do we have all units placed? And see how I'm going through here? Yep. Okay, so we have all our units for group 1 placed. Now say I want to take away a unit. It goes from back to front. You don't want, if you delete unit 1, the whole group deletes. Do not push delete on these, okay? I've been telling you, it's sometimes, if I push delete right now, I might delete the whole group. If you want to go back, you have to go back here, and it starts deleting groups. Push the back key. So, let's see here. Where's our threat circles to show it? That's probably inside the game. Okay, so right now it's showing the threat circles for these aircraft, or these units. Now they're not hidden on the map right now. I will do that, even though I haven't forced in the mission options. I'll do that later. Right now we're trying to see our units. So let's go to our unit list. Go to red, and it shows cut enemy group 1 Russian quantity 19. So we have 19. So let's go ahead and go. The 19 is fine. You'd like to make them even, but it's fine. All right, so that's our group 1. That's at Katasi. Okay, kind of guarding the base. So Katasi, if I had it on neutral right now, it would turn red inside the mission editor, or in the game when I get out of the mission editor, but I keep it red. So place those units. Let's use our ruler, see how far waypoint 1 is from Katasi. 29 kilometers, okay. gonna go ahead and add. Alright, real quick, real important. Didn't go over this. Let's go back to our unit 1. And down here at advanced options, advanced actions. We're gonna make these guys, we don't want them to do anything like this. Fire at point. We want them to set option. Rules of engagement. Weapons free. That's good. Explosive on the fire. We can leave that. And we'll add their weapon state. Alarm state. Auto. Green's red. Green means they'll move. Red means they're engaged. They're taking up defensive positions. They're going to stop. That kind of thing. We'll keep it at auto for now. But I want to make sure their weapons, their rules of engagement are weapons free. And I don't have any other waypoints for them, so they're going to be sitting here. When we start bombing, they'll move a little bit, but they won't move too crazy. So they're a stationary unit, okay, or group. All right, let's make waypoint 1 for hog 1. I'm going to click on the waypoint, left click, see how it shows the different. I can go to the next one, shows hog 2, hog 1. I'm going to go to add. And I'm clicking the right mouse button right now. IP here. Turning point, same altitude. And right now it's on CAS. It's automatic. Means if it was AI, it'd go after targets closest to it, but we're not doing that. We're manually controlled. And what I like to do, so we're here. I'm going to add again. And right now I'm going to push it again. It's already on it. So if I left click anywhere, it's going to fire. So I'm going to click here. And this is what I like to do. Look at my altitude right now. It's 45. This is the ground altitude for where I'm looking. From where my mouse goes. If I go over here, see how it's changing, the altitude. This is my personal preference. So I'm going to make the altitude here 46. So it's going to, little indicator on your tab is going to show when you slew to it right here on the ground. That's like a little trick I like to do. You can use some other little ways, but that's the way I like to do, make it easy. Do the same thing for, did it again. Delete. Right click. There we go. Add. It's for hog 2. His IP is me right, it's pretty much the same place. We're over the little river there. We're still in the add. We said it was 46. I'll move this a little bit so they look at the same stuff. 46. Now I can put TGT area, and I didn't put anything on this one. TGT area. Alright, so we have aircraft taken off. Good. Now 0 is Batumi, so when they slew there, or when they go back to the waypoints, they go back to Batumi, or just go through the airport menu, get there. Alright, so one thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to make basically a trigger zone around this area. Well, before I get to that, let's don't get too crazy. We said we had mixed armor, we had AAA, we had manpack units, and some other units. So I'm going to go ahead and add some more units here. They're going to be a different group this time. See how it automatically defaults to the last group you made? Let's put TASI group, enemy, AAA group 1. Let's go 2. I don't want to confuse people. Alright, air defense, close and placement. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and click on, there we go. Now make sure player can drive is off and move where he's looking at. And you can change the unit number if you want, but we don't really need to right now. Off-road 0. Add a rules of engagement. It's free. Money. Alright. So remember I told you before we're kind of closest to water. I'm going to add 10 AAA. Actually, let's do 12. I'm going to add some mobile. Let's go. It's up here. Alright. I'll click unit 1, bring her down. Alright, so I want unit 1 to be kind of out here. Alrighty. looking that way. This guy looking that way. This guy that way. This guy is going to be a Shoka. He's still random, so it could be really good or really shitty. See? This guy looking that way. This guy is going to be a manpad unit. We're going to make him a manpad. We're going to make his buddy, his little comm buddy. Put them real close together. They're tiny. You can change it from random, whatever you want to do. That's fine. But I like random instead of high, and kind of get randomizes the mission a little bit. I'll just keep him right there. It's a good place for him. And we'll make him a Shoka. Change it up a little bit. So now we got two groups. Now, if see how crazy it's getting. I'm like, man, I don't want to see all this. Click on the other group. I don't want to see. Hidden on map. I don't got to see it right now. But, and then vice versa for this one. Let's say you do this for both. Like, oh, I don't see nothing. What do I do? Go to units list. See that says hidden. You just click on it, and then you can just hidden on map. Hidden on map. So we have two groups right now. And we might have some surprises coming up on this one, but for now we're okay. Let's make this alarm stay auto. Shouldn't really matter. This isn't. They usually are auto anyways, but it's just for shits and giggles. Make it universal here. All right. That's our first part of units. Okay, placement. So we placed our units. We got our 2A10 Charlies. Actually, let's go ahead and place friendly Humvee just going across the ramp. Just like I said, I like to keep friendly units on the ground. Friendly Humvee. Make sure you change it from USA. It'll be unarmed. That's an armor. Do a. There you go. Random. Have him start here. See how it changed it. Make sure you go back and look at it. They will do that on you. Player can drive. No. Off-road. 20 is good speed. What we're going to do is have him go across here. And then just chill here. So when the mission starts, he'll start chilling here and going right here. Just something so this will stay blue. It might stay about that, but that's just a old trick I do. Okay, so we just place our main units right here at the airfield. Now we told one of our objectives was counterattack forces from the east. What we're going to do is I'm going to go in a little bit more detail in the next video about setting up triggers, trigger zones, conditions, flags to make stuff start happening. I just want to get the base foundation where we're at. It's pretty simple so far. We're not getting too complex. Okay, it's just basic units. One thing I will cover real quick: in each group, you right click on it. You can get to the group. If you would click the activation, they won't activate until a certain time or a certain thing you tell it to do. Right now, they are all activated at the start of the mission. I'll go with that in a second. Not second. Next video about we have our forces from the east reinforced. Okay. So I hope this helped you a little bit. Also, real quick, if you're going to place units on a road, let's do this as a test. Okay, just to show you something. Let's see, Canadian. Unarmed Humvee. Okay. I'm just going to place it. And then on road, it goes to the closest road, okay? Player can drive off. We have them facing this way. Oh wow, I went to, there you go. 2-4. That spaces them out. If I take unit 1, move them, puts them all in sequential order. There's some bugs right now with the AI movement on roads and just vehicle movement. You have to go really slow. Okay, 20, 25 max. Gotta be really careful with that because they won't get you there with waypoints and they'll start bugging out. So, for example, if I have an on-road waypoint, push add, all I gotta do is go to the point where I want them to go to, and it should automatically map it for me. Okay, and 20 is a pretty good speed. You don't want to go too fast because then they won't hit their target, and then it'll start going crazy. So, used to, you can just put the units down, max speed out, and they get there without the ETA, which is basically their time. Waypoint 0, waypoint 1 will take 7 minutes. You can slow that down if you want, but this is checked. You have to, if you try to uncheck it and save the mission, it won't let you. So we're gonna go ahead and delete this example. We're gonna delete this. Just showing you. We'll go over some more of that later. But so we got our base right now. So let's go and save it. Should have saved it a little while ago after the unit placement. And we're just gonna, what we're gonna do is do a quick check. Saved it. Fly mission. I have Hog 1 as player. Remember that. A little bit of my e-cig real quick. It's a long video. Come on, Betsy, hurry up, you. Give me an option. Hog 1. Now, what's probably going to happen is there's a little Humvee. That said, 120 chilling. There's no Hog 2 because there's no client. It's a single player now. Okay. Now, if I go to the map, I should be able to see the enemy units. I should be able to see me, but no enemy units. In the map, of course, you can change MGRS off, latitude, longitude. You can put satellite view, altitude, but like satellite's pretty cool. So, how do you know if the units are there? You know, like, man, I don't know. Simple. Click on that. The airfield, push F11. See how it's red in the corner? And I'm just doing a free world. There's our VTR-80. It's our field truck. Where's our man pad guys? See how close we got them. They're on the west side of the airfield, I remember. Or, yeah. East side, sorry. So we got a mistake here already. When I placed the comm unit, it changed to a AAA unit, so you gotta watch that. I just like to go through my missions and look at them before I start. So there's a AAA unit here. Everything's set up the way we had it, pretty much. There's that little road junction. All right. You notice the weather, there's not much clouds at all, man. It's a hot, hot day. So Ashoka. Alright, and this Humvee should stop where you stopped at. Already told him to. And we're good. So that's basic right now. That's basic placement of the units, guys. So we're at a cold start, how we wanted it. And that will do it for this video. I know it was kind of long. There's a lot of information, but we'll go through next video and look at the triggers, trigger zones, flag conditions, and start making the magic. So that's it for mission editing video number 3. I'll see you guys soon. Under 7 on out.